Hi guys, Kim here. Are you the all-seeing eye, and can I blame you? What if the all-seeing eye was us? A capital I, and then EYE, our view. So our experience with this world could be the sum total of our belief systems. I had a dream last night. It was very distorted, but basically it was a range of movie stars doing that all-seeing eye thing where they cup their fingers around to highlight the eye, and then I was shown the eye intact on top of an Egyptian pyramid. Then during the theta state of an waking consciousness, I seemed to unravel this a bit into the question is, am I the I? As in UIE or I? Is this reality only here because of me? Okay, it sounds egotistical, right? Except that any of you watching my channel for some time would know that I do not think that we're alone. I think we are all one. Like this world is the ocean, and that each of us are drops of water, impossible to separate or define which drop is which. But in totality, we make the ocean. So the conspiracy world would have you look at the symbolism of all-seeing eye as a marker of them. Those are the people that are doing this to us, the controllers. But what my waking dream is asking is that, are we doing this to ourselves? After all, our reality is just the sum total of our perceptions. And this is your reality, where I'm really just passing through for a length of duration of this video. So is this perception of us being the center of our own worlds too deep? And does it help us in any way to navigate this reality? It only helps, I think, if I align myself to the idea of ethics, and do not allow myself to think that in any way whatsoever does it give me any control over it. If I thought for a minute I could control the external, then I would akin myself to a mad professor working diligently in creating my creation. But if I can control my perception, then I can allow for a different view. I can be open-minded when I come across information. I'm getting better and better at seeing the illusions presented before me, so I can be in more control of myself. So I make a choice as to who I interact energetically with, so to speak. I had an incident yesterday where I met someone, a man and his wife, came out of a house and started to complain vehemently about something that had absolutely nothing to do with me in a very abusive fashion. I listened. I was aware that this man's complaints, no matter how aggressive, were not reaching me at any connective level, meaning that I was completely separate from his emotion. I did not feel threatened in any way by his explosive nature. I was the observer. I responded a few times with, this has nothing to do with me. So the drama only happens at the point that I repeat the message to the person that it was intended for. And if I do not repeat this message to the person that it was intended for, then do I kill the drama, as if it never existed, right? Other than in my reality. I have got no idea if I'm explaining this from any understandable format, but I think what it is I'm saying is we have to be prepared to play in the sandpit. The desire to repeat the drama or the scene or even discuss it with others is present in me, and it's wrong. However, every time I give it energy, I add those components to my life, therefore adding to my tornado of swirling going on inside and outside in the world around me. Oh, the other awareness that came out of this interaction was later when I reviewed it, I reframed it within a question of myself and said, okay, well, what did I learn from this? Why did it happen? Why did this man's explosive nature not affect me energetically? And I answered this by saying maybe because I have no love for him, that I can only now interact or connect with others through love, or if I'm already in fear. Then I'm reading this conversation that's happening by text on a channel that I'm part of, and one of my friends wrote this. Being an electrician is sort of like being an arbiter of justice. We are literally handling the forces that underlies all life. We are basically magicians, and it's a pretty wild thing, but a big part of our job is actually just educating people on the facts and the ethics of energy exchange. Something we electricians know is that electricity is always trying to get back to its source. So that's a good way of visualizing karma. Like if someone puts a bunch of bad energy out there, it will eventually make it to ground, and through the ground find its way back to its source and zap their ass. I loved it. I thought, wow, this explains why if I pass it on, then the charge continues. And if it's not grounded yet, but I cut it off by not connecting to the energy at all, but just observing it, then it'll bite the person in the arse that's outputting the energy. So his experience would likely to be feeling very drained after that interaction had taken place. So for me, it's all about tuning my ethics, my alignment to source through experiences in the material world. I feel for me, a couple of things have been uppermost in my reality for the last couple of weeks. And one is that there can be no love without trust. So my first question upon interacting with anyone else in my reality is to no longer open my energy to connect with anyone until such time I can trust them. Okay, very difficult if you're meeting somebody for the first time, but being a naturally friendly person, I'm pretty sure that even being friendly to a stranger creates an energetic bond. So from now on, I will be aloof. I will make it a rule to be an observer until such time that the person shows their true colours. It usually doesn't take very long. Someone can give themselves away with language within the first few seconds of a conversation by merely observing their words and their intent. Then the second thing, which was the very thing I think that led me to the I thing during the night, was that for this last week, I've had the feeling of so much internal pressure. I was thinking about the earthquake meme and how this earthquake meme is happening through too much suppressed pressure. So I figure I've got two choices here. I've got to either find a way of expressing this internal pressure I'm feeling, or something will blow. But in order for me to express this pressure, I have to find out what's causing it inside of me, and I haven't discovered that yet. Then thirdly, this perception that I am the I really helps me to be creative, as one of my blocks to creativity is the insecurity that I struggle with, in that the stuff I express to you guys, sometimes I hate it, and I really do not want to put the video up after I've made it. But the I meme gives me a get out of jail free card, in that this is only my view, take it or leave it, and therefore overcomes that internal insecurity inside of me. Put it out there. I have no desire or intent attached to my creations, only that I wouldn't be doing this if I was not inspired to do so. It's only my point of view after all. The pyramid connection in all of this I see as the Eye of Horus. Now for some weird reason, whenever I read that word Horus, I read it as ours. This perpetual depiction of the ticking time bomb going tick, tick, tick. So I feel I must withdraw for now and work on understanding and diffusing the stress inside of me before something in my reality blows because of it. Thanks for listening. Ta-ta for now.